Oh, what's happened here? Oh, that's gone up. Something's gone up in there. Give me 2 secs.
You're live, mate.
Oh no, don't know what's happening. Right. Anyway, guys, technical hitch at the start, but match review time. Welcome to Albert JTV. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 3. But before we get into it, let's hit the intro. Yes, people, welcome back. Welcome back. Match review time. Albert JTV is back. Apologies for the little technical hitch. It is now corrected on Facebook Live. So hopefully you guys should be tuning in to see me. As you can see, my brother from another mother has finally returned to our screens. It's not a mirage. He is here. Instagram King. Ross.
How you doing, mate? Right.
Yeah. Welcome back, man. Welcome back,
mate.
Man.
Thanks.
It's good to see you back, man. It's been a while since I've had you on, man. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys on Facebook Live should be able to see me now. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that, man. But you know, technical hitches happen. This is what happens on live streams. Welcome to YouTube world, man. But guys,
mate.
Yeah, it's mad, man. You know, I should have done it on there. Guys, you will see my details above the screen in the overlay. You will see my gooner brother Ross's details going on the bottom. Gooner TV Media. Go and follow and subscribe to his channel. If you haven't done it already, then what are you waiting for? Big up to the guys in the chat. It's lively already, man. Jesus Christ. But yeah, let me big up some of the people in the chat first before we get into it with my brother Ross. Yes, Gooner Souls are in the house already. Ryan's in there. You see, the boys are in the force, Ross, mate. Laurie's in there. Republic of Arsenal's there. Look at that, man. The boys are coming out in force. Lottie's in there. Go on, Lottie. So, Ross, man, so much to talk about. I was supposed to do a match review yesterday, but I'll be honest, there was 2 reasons why I didn't do it. The first reason is because I was on the Liverpool channel. Big up the Cop Out guys, Mick. Love the guy to pieces, man. I was on their channel. Top guys didn't go too hard on me, you know, didn't go into me too much after 3-0 defeat. But you know what, us Arsenal fans, we do not hide. We do not hide. We go and suck it up and face it up. So and also the second reason why I didn't do a match review is because, to be honest, I didn't want to. After what I saw yesterday, I didn't even bother listening to the press conference or the match review afterwards, whatever Mikel Arteta said. But I caught up with a little bit of it. Guys, smash the like button if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. Ross, where to start with you, man? I think the first things first, before we get into it, what did you make of the team lineup? I know, you know, it's a common question that gets asked, obviously, because we have to talk about it. But for me personally, I didn't have an issue with it. Obviously, finding out the 4 key injuries in terms of illness and injury combined: Xhaka, Luiz, ESR, and Saka. I'm gonna get the teams on screen now. So yeah, Ross, what did you make of the Arsenal lineup and any surprises in the Liverpool lineup?
In terms of Arsenal, obviously Xhaka was he said that he was ill or something like that, didn't he? Which I was happy about because I think everyone knows my thoughts on him. I'll be honest with you, mate, there was a couple of things that annoyed me about the lineup in terms of, I know we had some injuries, but Pepe playing on the right has been proven not to work. He's a different player on the left. He's left-footed. He's a lot more confident. The same with Aubameyang playing left wing. I don't like it, mate. He's a striker. He's a finisher. That's all he does. Putting him on the left wing is just completely pointless, in my opinion. If people are not fit, that's fine, but find somebody else who can play there because it just doesn't work. That was my initial thoughts on the lineup, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit pissed off when I saw Pepe on the right and Aubameyang on the left. I felt like it's something we've tried again and again and again. And it's like people say, you know, the definition of madness, isn't it? We've talked about it before, doing the same thing over and over again. and expecting a different result. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. We've proved it 1,000,001 times. So why keep doing it? But yeah.
No, cool, man. My thoughts, like I said, I do have an issue with the team lineup. Before I sort of go into a bit more, Ross, would you surprise Chambers to start the right back again, or did you think, you know what, fair play, he had a good game against West Ham, you could see why he started, or did you have reservation?
No, I mean, I was happy with that Chambers playing right back. I mean, we've got 4 right backs from what I can see: Bellerin, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Chambers, and Cedric Suarez. And the only one that I don't like out of the 4 is Bellerin. So as long as he's not in the team, I'm happy. I think Chambers played well against West Ham, but I think Bellerin started to get dropped a few times now. So maybe either Arteta's realising that he's not that good defensively, or maybe he is looking to move him on to PSG to maybe free up some funds. Either way, I'm happy with that. So I'm not going to complain about the right back position too much.
No, I will say that when I say that I was happy with the team lineup, let me sort of delve into it a tiny bit. You touched on the point, Ross, in terms of Pepe on the right and Aubameyang on the left, and you're right, because when you think about it, I said before that, and this is what drives me mad, and it keeps on happening, is if you're going to play that formation with a 4-2-3-1, you don't play Aubameyang and Lacazette. I don't care what anyone tells me. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. And to compound that even more, you're playing Pepe on the right. So you're playing out of form Aubameyang on the left.
Yeah.
Knowing, I understand the injuries with ESR and Saka weren't available. I get it. But we're already unbalanced against a team who, press very high, press impacts, press very, very well. What did surprise me a little bit with the Liverpool teammate was I expected to see Diego Jota start personally. So I was a little bit surprised. But then when I'm going to come to you, Ross, and talk about the first half in particular, then when I look at Liverpool team again on second glance, then I can probably see why that midfield 3 started for Liverpool. So yeah, mate, come onto the first half, mate. Sort of break it down into what you see in the first half, and we'll go into the second half, and I'm sure we'll touch on certain individuals. But what did you make of the lack? What did you make of the first half? What the lack of it from an Arsenal perspective, should I say?
Just diabolical, really, mate. I'll be honest with you. There was nothing, was there? There was no fight. There was no press. There was no chances created. There was no attacking play. And people keep saying Arteta this, Arteta that, but we're not improving under him. And the only thing that makes people think that we are is just blind sort of loyalty, blind faith. We're 9th, 10th in the table, and we're going further and further down. Our performances get worse. He keeps making the same mistakes. I don't really get what he's trying to achieve. And it annoys me when people say, well, give him 3 or 4 transfer windows. Nobody's got 3 or 4 transfer windows. It doesn't work like that. And
no, it doesn't.
Especially when those same people will write off the January transfer window every January going, oh, well, no one's available. Well, what are you giving him 3 or 4 summer windows then before you sack him? So you're writing off 4 seasons before you sack him to get somebody else in. And then you're going to say, well, he needs 3 or 4 windows, summer windows. Yeah. I mean, it just, sorry, mate, to get back to your original point,
Go on, it's all right. Go on, mate.
It was shocking, mate. I thought it was shocking. And it was just, I thought it was disgusting, really, to be honest with you. I don't know whether that's a player to blame, Arteta, or a bit of both, but it was just, I mean, there was just nothing there, was there?
No, I mean, I'm going to come back to you. I mean, sort of, in the first half, for example, it was pretty, after about 20 minutes, I think Liverpool already on 61% possession, which wasn't that big a shock, mate, to be honest, because, Liverpool going to have more of the ball than us. One thing I thought sort of going into the game is that Arteta has had us set up a bit better against the bigger teams. Home and away. Yes, you can argue the games we lost and got points in, but he has set us up a bit more defensively, structurally sound, should I say. But the problem we've got is if Liverpool are going to have the amount of ball they've had And when they do break down, or they didn't create loads and loads of chances, what you've got to do is you've got to transition quicker when you've got the ball. Our passing was terrible. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and actually got worse, but we'll touch on that. But yeah, mate. The thing is, sort of going to the game, I want to get your thoughts. Sort of, I saw the stat come up in the first half or before the start of the game. Sorry, about Liverpool. Sort of like a mini league table the last 8 games, and Liverpool sitting 18th, 6 points. They've got a right back in Trent who's not had a great season. Personally, I think I was quite surprised he was dropped from the England squad, if I'm being honest. They've got 2 centre backs who have done well in recent weeks in Ozan Kabak and Nate Phillips, who have done pretty decent. But I thought to myself, Arsenal, you're at home. You're playing against the champions of England, but they're not playing like the champions of England this season. You have got a chance to put a mark on them. And what I saw in that first half, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, I don't think we had a shot until, if I'm right, in the 60th minute.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you can talk about the quality of Liverpool, but to me, that's unacceptable for the amount of attacking players on the pitch. Go on, come in, mate. Sorry.
No, exactly what I was saying, really. It's exactly that. It is unacceptable. You know, you're the home team and you don't even get a shot off on goal in the first half. I mean, I don't care who you're playing, mate. Do you know what I mean? You know, surely, you know, like Gary Neville says, I know he played for like one of the best Man United teams of all time, or whatever, but top teams dominate football matches, or at least they try to. And if we're trying to get there, then they should at least try. But we just sat back and didn't do anything. There was no shots. There was no attacking play, nothing. You know, like, I completely agree, mate. It was totally unacceptable.
Yeah, I'll touch on it. I was going to Rowan RJ Arsenal vlog. Big up Rowan in the chat. Subscribe to my brother's channel. I was going to come on to that. I'm glad you mentioned the press, because one thing that was obvious to me, Ross, I'm sure most Arsenal fans saw it, but the minute Ødegaard got the ball, Mane was on him, then Milner. If it wasn't those two, it's Milner, then Fabinho. Within a millisecond, this guy getting on the ball, snuffed out of it completely. So I could probably understand why Milner started that game in the middle of the three, because if you stop the supply line of Ødegaard and then you add on top of that ESR is obviously not going to play in the game, we've got a massive problem. Because even if we're going to let Liverpool have a lot of the ball, which we did, when we get the ball, how are we going to transition from A to B as quick as possible? But where Ødegaard was just shut down completely, that was a big issue, man. And yeah, mate, you know what it was as well? I didn't see any intent from Arsenal. I didn't see anything. In wide areas, there was nothing. In the middle of the park, there was nothing. I'm not sure how many times Partey and Ceballos have played as a two. I don't think it's been many times, maybe once, possibly. What did you make of? Obviously, I'm gonna obviously we're talking about the team, but what did you make of Ceballos' performance? Because before you answer that, I've said, and I'm not just going off. Anybody see my content? I'm not just going off for the game yesterday. I wasn't too keen when we signed him anyway. I don't think he did enough in his first loan spell for me to say, you know what, I can see why we got him. I think the only reason why we done it, mate, is because to add squad depth. I don't think there's any other reason. It's been proved because Arteta hasn't played him. What did you make of his performance, mate?
I wouldn't really say shocking. It's just kind of what we've come to expect of Dani Ceballos. He's not the player that we will hope he is, and we've been saying that for quite a while now. I mean, like you said there, the only sort of good thing that he's done is had a few good FA Cup games when we won the FA Cup last season. Take that out, he's done absolutely nothing in 2 years now. Coming up to it's April. That's 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and if Real Madrid want £22 million for him, I'll be honest with you, they can keep him. I won't pay £2.2 million for him. He's I think he will find his level at Real Betis, if I'm being completely honest. And let's just hope they sign him and not us, because he's not good enough. The only things he ever seems to do is spin around in circles, to be quite honest. I think Ryan Wills hit it on the head perfectly when he called him spinning top, because that's all he ever seems to do, and that's if he does that. So, yeah.
Right, I was read out a comment from an RJ Arsenal vlog. Was defensive our worst performance under Arteta. I really like him. I've seen progression since Christmas and since he moves to a 4-2-3-1. But I thought it was a really, really poor managerial display. Yeah, spot on, mate. And I think the thing that concerns me, going to come to you, Ross, with my thoughts anyway, the kind of the question. With Arteta touching on what RJ Arsenal vlog said, I sometimes think to myself, when we go 1-0 down, in quite a few games, actually, mate, he looks like he doesn't know what to do. Like I'm looking at thinking, okay, when your plan A doesn't work, which has been quite a few times this season, to be honest with you, what is the plan B? Because, you know, we sort of going into the second half, mate. You're thinking, I think we started okay for the first literally couple of minutes in the second half, mate. Other than that, it was the carbon copy of the first half. What did you make? What did you make of what I just said in regards to Arteta and a plan B? What do you think of that? What do you make of that in your opinion? Sorry, shall I say?
Yeah, well, this is it, mate. I mean, I'm still struggling to work out what his plan A is, if I'm being completely honest. Your man's touching there on about progression, and I'll be honest with you, mate, I don't see any progression at all because we're still sat 9th, 10th in the table. If anything, we're going backwards. I think after Christmas, we had a lucky run of games where we played teams like Newcastle, Palace, can't remember who else it was now, Brighton, whatever else. And that's no disrespect to them. It was just we had a good 6 or 7 games where we should have won all those games. In terms of like plan A, plan B, again, I can't see where the progression is in the team, in a plan A. In you say about plan B, and this is what we've touched on before. He's been assistant coach for Pep Guardiola, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've said it before many times that all he's really doing is copying what Pep Guardiola does. That's all he's doing. So he doesn't know probably what to do when we go 1-0 down or whatever. He's copying his style of play. He's trying to copy his tactics, the players, the type of players he's trying to get in. But that's it. That's not a manager. That's not a great coach. It's just I'll try and emulate what somebody else has done. Well, I could fucking do that. Not being funny, but you know what I mean. It's
yeah, you know what it is. Before I come to you guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. Guys, appreciate that the chat's been lively already. We've only been going 17 minutes, even despite a little technical hitch at the start. Thanks to Facebook Live, but never mind. But guys, before we get into it, guys, you should know what to do by now. And there you have it. Subscribe. But yeah, mate. So yeah, with the progression thing, right? I'm trying to look at it from. I'm trying to give some context to it, which is very difficult from what we've seen this season. But when they say progression, like people have seen progression, for example, not naming that at RJ Arsenal, but I mean Arsenal fans in general that come out and say that this season. I can only assume they mean it from a defensive point of view because, you know, they showed that. I saw a stat earlier, I think it was a game yesterday, mate, where it compared Emery, Arteta and Wenger's 50 games, was it? And the stat that stood out for me was the goal scored. We are way down. Way down. Like that, to the point, it's not even funny. And you think, Arsenal have never had a problem scoring goals for as long as I can remember as an Arsenal fan. So that, to me, that's the thing that shocked me the most. But I think that's what people mean. I might be speaking out of turn by saying it when they say that he's tried to put us a bit more. There's a bit more defensive structure in there. Would you concede to that, or you just kind of like, you know what, I see a little bit, but it's still not good enough? Where do you sit with it?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent you're right. He's obviously realised that we're crap defensively, and we have been for a long time, and I totally get that. At the same time, though, putting 10 men behind the ball is not getting better defensively. That's cutting off every fucking, you know, percentage of attacking play we have. So people who say he's improved us defensively, I'm not convinced. I think Gabriel's a decent centre back. But again, like, I think Arteta's the master of his own downfall. He's made some really bad decisions, in my opinion, some really crazy. I mean, Saliba, send him out. I mean, I haven't seen him in training, right? I get that, okay, but surely he's better than David Luiz and some of these other guys that got in there. And I just surely if he'd got like Gabriel and Saliba and said, "You're my front two centre backs," surely that would have improved our defence. Surely, and he hasn't done that. Bellerin, it's taken him till what? March, April to realise the guy can't fucking defend to save his life, and he's taken him out of the team. And really, let's be honest, how long for? Is that just for a couple of games, or I mean, he could have put anyone in there, like we said, Chambers, Maitland-Niles, Cedric Suarez. They would have been better defensively either time, But I mean, sending Torreira and Guendouzi out on loan, who could have helped protect our back four as well, to play Granit Xhaka. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore.
We're gonna touch on him a little bit because I want to get your opinion on something. I want a big shout out to Callum, CFB Callum in the chat. Callum, pleasure when you came on my channel. You put the question. Callum's a Man United fan, but great broadcaster, brilliant interviews of players and chief execs. So big up to Callum. Big shout out to Kieran as well. Enjoyed my time being interviewed a few weeks ago. It was something different, which I 100% enjoyed. And to people watching, don't forget your networking. Don't just chase the subs. Trust me. Me and Ross know about that very well. Trust me. But Callum's put the question there, is Arteta the man long term? Ross, I'm going to get you to answer that, mate, in your honest opinion.
No, I can't see it, mate. If I'm honest, I don't think he was the right man for the job when he first got the job. I felt that we needed an experienced manager at the time. We went for Arteta. Fine, I got behind him like I would any new manager. Give him some time. He did okay. He won the FA Cup, the Charity Shield. That bought him some time. But again, it all comes down to that progression. I don't see any progression in Arsenal. We're not progressing up the league. We can't see our performances progressing. I just can't see us getting anywhere under him. I think his style of play is just miles too slow. He loans out players who should be in the team, or doesn't play them that should be in the team. God, he sells our best goalkeeper.
Don't trigger the chat now, bloody hell, mate.
I think for me, like, half his problems I've been self-made with some of the decisions. Selling your best goalkeeper, sending people out on loan he shouldn't have done. Keep playing players who aren't good enough. The build-up play is still miles too slow, but it doesn't look to be changing at any point. And if people think in the summer, I'll give him another window, which ultimately would write off next season as well. Well, if you're going to get players like Odegaard, Ryan, and who's the other guy we got on loan, Ceballos, we've got them players anyway, and we're still 10th. So how is that going to make us better for next season? I don't get it. So no, I don't think he's the answer to our problem. I think we'll be exactly where we are, to be honest.
Ross, we're going to touch on Arteta again, only because I want to get your thoughts on some bits towards a bit later in terms of what he said after the game. We got some. Let me just look at some people in the chat. Yes, she knows Arsenal. Jess is in the chat. My sister from the LA, man. Nice to join in. Jess, if you haven't smashed that like button already, we're gonna have words off camera. But no, it's fine. I know you've done it already anyway, it's fine. But big up Jess in the chat. Normski TV, thanks, mate. We don't have the players. If we go into next season with half these players and this untried manager, we will not progress, period. We are a mid-table side right now. Can't disagree with that, mate. I always say to people, Ross, I always say it, mate, you can sit here and talk about formations. You can sit here and talk about culture. You can sit here and talk about quality of players. I always say to people as Arsenal fans, your own set of eyes don't lie to you. And you see what you see. And it's not good in the moment. But yeah, Ross, just to touch on, obviously, we lost Tierney just before the halftime break.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully it's not too serious. I haven't heard anything. I heard about, obviously, David Luiz earlier when the thing came out on Sky Sports about he's having minor surgery on his right knee. So, to me, I'm assuming he's not playing Thursday.
He's having knee surgery, no.
There's a good chance, mate. Ryan's on the goalkeeper, man. I told you he saw the wrong goalkeeper. But, yeah, mate. So, second half, we're touching on. Like I said, we started okay for literally 2 minutes, and then after that it went back to what it was in the first half. I thought, sort of going from the first half into second half, Liverpool didn't have loads of chances, but the harsh reality is, if they'd had their finger on the pulse in the first half, someone said in the chat earlier, yeah, it should have been 3-0 to Liverpool, and we could not have complained. And bear in mind who was the home team.
Yeah,
you weren't Liverpool. I can tell you that.
yeah.
But yeah, mate, I want to ask you about Aubameyang. His performance, not just yesterday, to be honest with you, looked like a different man when he played for Gabon. Completely different guy.
Yeah.
Completely chalk and cheese. Looked like the weight of the world was off his shoulders. Comes back in an Arsenal shirt. Picks up from where he was before. When I say ask you about Aubameyang, obviously what you've seen this season and what you think's gone wrong, but do you think it's too early to say, even with 8 Premier League games left and obviously still being involved in Europa League? Is it too early to say that we find ourselves in a situation again with another player who signed a big contract, and it's to our detriment? Do you think that's fair to say that about Aubameyang, or do you still think there's a bit more fire in the tank?
In regards to his contract, it was a tricky one, and I'll back Arteta when I think he's right as well. At the time, at the start of the season, Aubameyang had been banging in goals all over the place, and he hadn't stopped. The only time he's had a bad, he's had like a dry spell, was at the start of this season, right? So at that point, it was a point where, do you sell someone who's 31 years old, even though he wants a 3-year contract, but then he's also been banging in goals, non-stop.
Yeah, in a poor side, by the way.
Yeah, or do you take the money and run? Now, if we'd have taken the money and run, and then we struggled to score like we're doing now, imagine the criticism Arteta might have got at that time.
100%.
So, do you know what? On that one, I don't blame him for actually offering him a new contract. It's like, and I think, if in fairness, I think most fans would have liked to have seen that deal happen. I mean, how many people were going on about sign the thing,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was like, even Wrighty was at it. So, I think credit where it's due. That was a tricky decision, which could have gone either way. And at that point, there was no evidence to suggest that he was going to stop scoring. So, I can't really say too much about that one, really.
Do you think he wants to be here? I mean, I'm not no body language expert, Ross, mate, or guys in the chat, but I just look at someone who, when he's in an Arsenal shirt, like I said, I can only go by. Listen, I don't follow Aubameyang when he goes on international duty for Gabon, but when I saw the recent pictures that I saw, I look like someone who's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And when he's in an Arsenal shirt, it looks like he's having the worst time of his life.
Yeah.
In a team that's actually creating more chances for him. Yeah. And the opposite effect is happening. Mind you, I don't think that haircut, that his new hairdo makes him look play any better anyway. I think it looks bloody awful, but that's just me. Yeah. What do I know? I'm not no barber or stylist, but yeah, sort of second half. So we make the sub comes on, Sabias comes off, who didn't have a great game after about 57 minutes. El Neni comes on. And you know what it was? When Liverpool brought on Diego Jota, I ever said it, Ross, I think you're going to come on and score.
Yeah,
it was almost written in the stars. Yeah, I mean, they get the goal. No surprise, they deserve to go ahead. But I still want to concentrate on the other two goals. Do you think there's any fault with the second and the third goal? I can pick some faults in some of them, because obviously you can look at the marking defensively of Arsenal, Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, Gabriel. What did you make of the goals we conceded?
I think the second one, wasn't it? He was it Gabriel slid in to try and tackle?
It Salah? Yes.
And he kind of missed it, and he went through and he got it through Leno's legs. So these things happen, I guess, isn't it? I think Gabriel's actually been really good for us this season. If anything, he should have played more games after injury, in my opinion. The third one, yeah, you could say the marker was better, but also what a fantastic cross by Trent. I mean, he looped it over like a whole defense and put it straight on his head. I mean, but I mean, either way, like you say, mate, whether it was bad defending, whether it was good attack play by Liverpool, we should have been 3-0 down at half time anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we were awful. Let's get it right. We were awful against Liverpool.
No, it wasn't good. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me Diego Jota scored, mate, when he come on. Yeah, with the gap, I mean, with the Mo Salah goal, I think Gabriel got himself in a position where if he makes a tackle, he's going to bring him down. It doesn't. Mo Salah doesn't need an invitation to go, to go to ground. Put it that way. But the thing with Gabriel, I'll be honest, right? People might disagree with me, but until the second goal, I actually thought he played all right. He fell into that trap with many of the Arsenal players that were poor that day, where he had like a 15-20 minute spell where he was. I mean, even the third goal come from that casual pass out. You know, that was too short for Cedric to go and get it first time, and then they score from that. But yeah, I just think, you know what it was, mate. I just think we got what we deserved. The only difference was it didn't happen in the first half, but it sure as all happened in the second half.
Yeah.
I want to sort of ask you. So, I mean, I'll be honest, mate. Before the start of the game, in terms of previews I went on, I actually went for Arsenal to sneak it 2-1. I wasn't being 100% confident when I said that. But even I got to admit, I was surprised by what I saw in that performance in that game, especially the second half. What do you make of this? What did you make of it?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't shocked at all. I've said it so many times this season. It's become like not a shock. It's just become what Arsenal do. For not just this season, for quite some time now. I actually started to switch off a bit. I'll be honest with you, in the second half, just because I was just like, it's expected now for us to just get turned over like that with no fight, no passion, no, if we'd have gone really gone for them under Wenger days and tried to beat them, but got beaten 3-1 or whatever, I'd have gone, okay, at least we tried, But there's just nothing anymore from these players. There's no attack, there's no threat, there's no passion.
Yeah,
it's just expected now, mate, to just to roll over and get turned over. It really is,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, you know what it is. I'm not saying we've got a divine right to turn up and win football matches, but as I said earlier in the stream, we're not playing a Liverpool side that are full of confidence. They was 5 points off of top four before the start of the game. They've taken some hammerings this season. You could even arguably say maybe one of the worst title defenses I've probably seen. So I wouldn't say Liverpool there for the taking, but I would have thought we had a better opportunity to get 3 points against a team that defensively, yes, they've had some injuries that haven't been very good this season, but we didn't even lay a glove on them. Now, I heard a lot of people say that Nat Phillips and Kabak played well, which they have done in the last recent games, but they didn't particularly have to play well yesterday because we offered nothing.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching the game, mate, what was Arsenal's outball? Like Lacazette's coming deeper. Aubameyang's on the left hand side of the play or the pitch. We're not getting a tune on the right. The midfield's getting overrun. Defensively, we poor. So yeah, it was. Go on, mate. Sorry, bro. Go on, bro.
And this is the thing, though. You just said it there. They've come into the worst run they've had in, probably under Klopp's reign. To be fair, they've got centre back partnership that is completely brand spanking new, completely untried, untested, and we don't even try to to go for it. I mean, makes no sense, mate. All this be really deep, even at home, and have a really slow build-up play. I mean, where's it got us? I don't get it. It's got us a 10th.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's. I also want to touch on. I mean, I saw a lot of reaction after the game. In regards to obviously the players that were missing, and I had this conversation with RJ Wills on the phone off YouTube. Well, we had a private conversation, but he doesn't want to be talking about this. He's talking about Arsenal, loads of things, but people were sort of talking about Granit Xhaka in the sense that he's integral to the way we play, and Arsenal play better with him in the side. I'm going to say my thoughts, but what do you make of that when people say that, particularly off the back of that result yesterday?
What's that? Sorry, mate. Say that again.
About Granit Xhaka. They're saying that he's integral to the team and that we play better when he's in the team. And I saw a lot of it, mate. I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. I saw a lot of that flying around on the socials. And to be fair, mate, even during a lot of the parts of this season, particularly the last few months.
No, mate. No, fuck off. Sorry. Granit Xhaka is dog shit. I don't care what anybody tells me. You can say that as many times as you want. He's been in 5 seasons, and in all 5 seasons he's been absolutely dog shit. Don't tell me he's a good player. He's not in the Premier League. You know, maybe in Germany where they got a couple of good teams and that's it, and he's got like all the time in the world to turn and pick a pass and stuff like that. Maybe Serie A. I think Serie A would probably be a good player in, but no, not at all, mate. You know, saying that we're a better team with him isn't really what we're looking for anyway. That's not the benchmark to for where we get that. It's
Hallelujah.
Not just because he may have made us a little bit better than the other crap we've got, which I don't believe anyway. But even if he did, it's not where we're trying to get to. You know, the guy is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. He's not good enough for the Premier League. Get rid of him, please. I'm begging you. Get rid of this guy this summer. You know, just I don't care. Get him on a free. Rip up his contract like you did with whoever else it was.
Yeah, you're not going to be getting any Christmas cards or Easter cards from the Granit Xhaka fan club. My thing on it, right? I'm going to try and articulate this as best as I can, because I said to you, Ross, I was on the Same Old Arsenal podcast a few weeks ago now, and after the show, you know, people comment and whether it be on YouTube or on Twitter or whatever, and one particular Arsenal fan was talking about, you know, oh, it's too easy to have a go at Xhaka and you're not giving footballing reasons as to why why you're giving so much critique about him. And this is my thing, Ross, and people in the chat, the people watching this on YouTube or Twitter, whatever. It's all well. You can listen if you want to go and make videos or content and talking about, you know, pie charts and how important he is to the team, and he's played an X amount of minutes in February, March, and captain of Switzerland. That's fine. You can do that. You're entitled to do what you want to do. But the issue is, if people are going to come and say to me, for example, about we need to give footballing reasons, if you have a midfield player at your club, i.e., in your team, who has the most mistakes that have led to goals in the Premier League, that's you know, that's black and white. That's a footballing reason. You know, I don't understand why the narrative should be that we lose 3-0 at home to Liverpool and all of a sudden we're missing Xhaka. We're better when he plays. I don't understand that. And Rosh, another thing that I don't understand, right? So when I think it was around the beginning of December last year, right? And there was that graph that came out on Sky Sports about the heat map of Granit Xhaka and the progressive passing. Now, if you remember that, that's only December last year. So how's it gone from that, for someone who doesn't play any forward progressive passing, to we're better with him in the team 2-3 months later? That's 3-4 months later. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the thing is, I could understand an argument when people say David Luiz not playing yesterday. That I can understand, because if you're talking about a centre-back pairing, then for me it's Gabriel and David Luiz. I can understand. But when you say to me that you know, Granit Xhaka's integral to the team, or we're better with him, that doesn't make sense to me, because the thing is, who are you comparing that against? Who's his competition?
Yeah.
But then that's what I say. It doesn't make any sense to me. So when I was hearing all this talk about, you know, he He's integral. I'm like, the thing is, us as Arsenal fans, you can't. I always say you can't have it both ways. Either you talk about you want better quality in, and you want to get back to the way we're back in the way we was before. You know, football moves in different cycles, so you know we're gonna have a period where we're gonna come good again. When that is, I've got no idea. It's gonna be past Arteta. We know that because he's not gonna be in charge forever. But you can't have it both ways. You know, if you're gonna say you want Arteta out, for example, but he's picking Xhaka, he's picking Bellerin, he's picking an out of form, Aubameyang. So, you know, you're going to bring in an inexperienced coach to coach players that are not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. Then you're going to be in the league position that you're in.
Yeah.
To me, it's not rocket science, you know. Like I say, man, your eyes don't lie to you. Now, listen, Granit Xhaka's, you know, people were happy when we bought him. Personally, I wasn't. I think it's not even just a case of the N'Golo Kante thing, mate. It's just the fact that at the time, do I think there were other midfield players that Arsenal could have looked at? 100%. 100%. So yeah, enough about the pie chart. So comment, pie charts, you kill me. No, but Ryan, you know what it is, mate? We had the conversation earlier, mate, and I'm not saying Xhaka's a terrible player. I've said it time and time again if people see my content. To me, he just doesn't work in this league, in the Premier League. It doesn't work. But yeah, mate, I want to come to you about Mikel Arteta's comments, man. After the game. I know I could have played the video clip, but I didn't want to get any red strikes. So I just took the quote of the thing. But what did you make of what he said after the game, mate? I took a little bit out when I'm gonna get on screen now. People, there might be audio listeners out there. So yeah. Mikel Arteta, they were better in every department. I take the blame. It's my responsibility. They were the best team by far. They won by 3 goals and it could have been more. They won every duel, every second ball, every challenge. To be fair, I'm in shock. I didn't expect that one coming. It's my job to make things better. Today, we hit a really low level. It was not acceptable. For sure, we cannot hit that level again. When you represent this club, you have to stand up and take the challenge. Ross, before I come to you, and I've said this before, guys in the chat, people watching this one, or when they watch it on the rerun, I always rewind back to Baku, mate, and 6/7 of that starting 11 are still at this football club. That's a big issue. Because if some of those players, like I said, the 6 or 7 players that are still at the football club are going to let you down on one of the biggest stages at the time, our biggest game in our history since making the 2006 final in the Champions League. If they're not going to turn up for that, why do sections of the fan base still keep putting some of these guys on the pedestal? Ross, it makes no bloody sense to me.
Yeah, me too.
So someone come and tell me and Ross and the guys in the chat and tell us about footballing reasons as to why you have so much sentiment and so much value to players at this football club who cannot deliver you success. Explain that to me, please, in the chat. But yeah, sorry, mate. What do you make of Mikel Arteta's comments? Strong words, of course.
Yeah, strong words, mate. But it is exactly just that, isn't it? Words, actions speak louder than words. I mean, to me, a lot of them words sounds like it was a kind of like a get out of jail or get out clause for himself there, really. Oh, I was shocked that we didn't win every second ball, every header, every something like that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, do you know what I mean? It sounds like a bit of because he knows the heat's on him, you know.
Yeah.
Again, most of the Arteta's problems, I feel, are his own problem, really. You know, sending players out alone, he shouldn't send out alone. Blind faith in players like Xhaka and Bellerin, you know, who he refuses to drop. Keeps playing Pepe on the right, keeps playing Aubameyang on the left. I mean, you know, it's the same old shit, isn't it? I mean, I think he knew that he was in the firing line there, and that was a bit of a cop out, really. You know, maybe it'd been better if he'd have come out and said, "Look, I fucked up." That'd have been probably better, not just, "Oh, I was shocked that we lost every second ball, every this, that, and the other." I mean, it's just sounded like a bit of a cop out, really, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah, and Ross, I also want to pick up some of the guys make Yo-Yo makes a good point in Normski TV in the sense of this is what I'm saying. When people were sort of, you know what it is, Ross. It sounds really simplistic, right? But I said this to RJ because some sections of the fan base just I don't know, love the players is too strong, but because they like them, they almost can't see they almost can't do any wrong. But Yo-Yo makes a good point. It does the way Liverpool press. If you watch Liverpool for the last 2-3 years under Klopp, especially, you could have had a prime Guardiola and Xavi in there. They would have struggled to cope with that press because you know Klopp is renowned for setting teams up like that. So Xhaka playing yesterday wouldn't have made a difference.
No, not at all.
The two main issues, the two big misses for us, sorry, as said in the chat, and we know that Saka and ESR weren't playing. Facts. If people want to try and shoehorn Xhaka into that equation, that's fine. You can do that. You can make more compilation content and talk about how important it is to the team. But those Saka and ESR were the two biggest misses yesterday. And that possibly, not saying it definitely would have happened, could have potentially put Liverpool a bit more on the back foot because we've got more of an attacking onus to try and hurt Liverpool. So big up guys in the chat. Yeah, and also as well, he is lucky that fans not allowed in the stadium because I'll tell you something, if they'd have saw that performance yesterday, you think listen, you would have the Millwall 2.0 starting at that stadium, mate. I live near Millwall, trust me, them fans don't mess around, you know. But mate, you make a good point. With the I'm gonna get the league position up, mate. Sorry to remind you guys, but if someone had said to me at the start of the season, actually before I go into a bit further, Ross, what was your prediction for Arsenal before the start of the season? What was your kind of thoughts before the start of the season, mate?
6th to 8th, I thought.
Okay, yeah, I said we wouldn't get top 4. I wasn't too sure about position, but I said we wouldn't get top 4. If someone had said to me at the start of the season after 30 games, Arsenal will be sitting in 10th. We've won the same amount of games as we've lost, 12. We've got the second worst goal difference in the top 10. I think if you said that to any Arsenal fan at the start of the season, they would have said Arteta would have been sacked.
Yeah.
So I know hindsight and foresight are great things, and obviously we can't live by that, obviously, but we have to live in the here and now. But I look at that league table, mate, and I'm stunned, man. I am. I didn't expect us to go and tear up trees this season, but I did not see 10th position coming after 30 games. And we're on course for our worst league finish in the Premier League since the 94-95 season, where we finished 12th in the Premier League. There's a distinct possibility that could happen again. So Arsenal, if I let that sink in. Mate, so our only saving grace this season is the Europa League, as many people have said. We've got Slavia Prague on Friday. That is the home tie at the Emirates. I think I've got that right. What's your thoughts? Because, you know, from what I hear, sort of research and what people tell me, they're no mugs, Slavia Prague. People can talk about the quality of the Scottish League, but they beat Rangers, and before that, they beat Leicester in the Europa League. I think this game is going to take a bit of a different turn for things, probably a bit more than football. I've heard even asked people say it's Arsenal versus racism. But yeah, mate, surely we can't play like we did yesterday on Thursday, surely?
Hope not, mate. Hope not. No, I agree with you. What you say about Slavia Prague, it's a team that we don't know a lot about. However, they beat Rangers, who have won the Scottish Premier League this season. Have they lost a game, Rangers? I'm not even sure if they have yet. But they've won the league, so that they're on form. Their confidence is high. And like you said before, that they beat Leicester. Now, I actually thought Leicester would win the competition before that, and they've beaten both of those. So, like you say, they're no mugs. They're one of those teams where, at the moment, we don't know a lot about their players, but 2 or 3 seasons from now, we'll be like, oh shit, they had these 4 or 5 guys who went off to Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, AC, all that sort of stuff. They do have that star striker that Arsenal been linked with. I think there's is it Daka? Is that his name? He's about
I
6
think
Like
so. Yes, yeah.
And he's been banging in goals for fun. But that's the only guy I've heard about. But yeah, I mean, they're no mugs. Let's be real. They wouldn't have beaten Leicester and Rangers the way they have if they were. So we're going to have to try and find a performance from somewhere to beat them. To be honest with you,
it's a tricky one, mate. People said Europa League's our best avenue to get Champions League football. And you know what it is, mate? We played Liverpool yesterday, obviously. People go, oh, we've got Europa League. For me, I understand that, but my issue is you deal with the here and now.
Yeah.
Liverpool playing bloody Real Madrid on Tuesday. You could even argue that's a bigger game.
Yeah.
What is Arsenal's excuse for chucking in that terrible performance yesterday, knowing that you're going into? People can go there, oh, we've got one eye on Thursday. Bullshit.
Yeah.
That performance yesterday was unacceptable.
Yeah, you're
at any level, at any stage of the season. You're playing at home against Liverpool. You've got a shot better than that.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, let me get the stat.
When you go back to when you were playing at school, right? It didn't matter if you'd won league or if you were close or you were mid-table or near the bottom. You played your best every game out of pride, if nothing else, didn't you?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. That's a cop out. That is that. Oh, we've got Slavia Prague on Thursday. Bullshit.
Yeah, it is. I agree, 100%. Because that should not give you that performance. What you saw. I know you can only go by stats. What's on the screen now, as you can see. Obviously, Arsenal 36% possession. For any audio listeners out there, Liverpool 64% possession, which wasn't a surprise. Liverpool 16 shots, Arsenal 3. I'm surprised we had that many. If I'm being honest, 2 on target, 1 corner, 10 fouls apiece each for both teams. What's your feelings about Europa League? Do you think Arsenal got a realistic chance?
Do you know what? I think seeing the teams that are left in there, I think we do weirdly have a chance. However, I think if we draw Man United at some point, which is I think is the final actually, isn't it? We're screwed. I think
we could get them in the final. Yeah,
we'll probably get Villarreal, Unai Emery. That'll be interesting if we play him.
Can you imagine?
And after that, you've got either Man United, Roma, or Ajax. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it'd be a hot final, mate, if we get there. Yeah,
it's we do have a chance. To be fair, I can't see us winning it, unfortunately, but
it's very difficult.
The way we're playing is just. It's so Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? Like 1 minute, they get a good result. They beat someone like when we beat Chelsea after that terrible run in December.
Yeah,
they can do that, but then they can play like that against Liverpool. You never know, do you? So I don't know, mate. We've got a chance. We're in it, and we're into the last 8 or whatever it is. So we do stand a chance, but they can't play like that, mate, and expect to win.
But the thing, you're right. I agree. I think the issue we've got, we don't know how long Tierney's out for. I'm assuming David Luiz is going to be missing. Xhaka will come back, obviously, because it's only illness. And I don't with Saka and ESR. I'm not sure what the prognosis is. I don't know if you guys know in the chat. I'm sure we will find out things in the next up and coming days. But guys, the chat has been lively, man. This is what I like to see, man. The interaction has been mad. Maybe it's because Ross has come back on the channel. Maybe that's what the truth of the matter is. You don't even listen to what I'm saying. But now, big up to the guys in the chat. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Go and follow my guy Ross on social media and make sure you subscribe to his channel. And before any of you guys ask, yes, I have subscribed to Ross's channel. I did it bloody ages ago. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that I haven't done. But guys, when we get into it, you should still know what to do by now. But if you don't, I'm going to give you a reminder anyway. And there you have it once again, my people. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up very soon. Ross, firstly, it's a pleasure to get you on again, mate. This collaboration, we're like the York and Cole, man. And no, yeah, Cole, Burke, Hammond, Audrey, whatever, man. We're back, man. We've been reunited after a long, long time, man. But no, it's a pleasure to get you on, man, as usual, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, thanks for having me, mate. It's been a while out and stuff, you know, with other commitments and things going on. But yes, it's well, yeah, that and being in YouTube prison. But yeah, you know, it's been wicked, man. Thanks for having me back on, mate. I appreciate it.
Now, cool, you're my bro, man. Guys, big show, much love to Ross, man. But yeah, you know what it is, mate. And I thought this is actually for quite a few years with Arsenal, if I'm being honest, not just this season. I actually can't wait for the season to be over. I haven't enjoyed watching Arsenal for quite a few years. Under 3 different managers now. If you want to add Freddie, you could say 4.
I wouldn't add him, but yeah.
Recruitment is still an issue at this football club. And I said to people, Ross, the thing is, when people used to go to me, you know, Arteta out, you even asked me that question. I said, look, if the results continue the way they're continuing, at the time, I think it was after international break, we played Leeds and we drew, and we should have lost that game as well. We went on an horrendous run after beating Manchester United 1-0. And I said, if it continues, Mikel Arteta will be lucky to make it into the new year. He made it into the new year. I think partly because the Arsenal board have got no contingency. And I don't think they've had it for quite a few years. Now, my biggest issue was, and I said this before and I say it again, I'm going to keep on saying it, to be honest with you, is I've never known in my entire lifetime as watching football, being a fan of Arsenal, where you have a big club who has a rookie manager, a rookie technical director, a rookie CEO. I have never seen that happen in my entire life watching football. You tell me where that's happened. So if you take them things into consideration, why on earth was we ever going to get top 4? It's crazy. And I know people go, oh yeah, but we bought Gabriel and we bought Thomas Partey, and you know, we got Kieran Tierney in 18 months ago, whenever it was. That's fine. I can take that in isolation. But the problem you still got is, if you're not gonna get the right tools around them for them to flourish, they're not gonna be a success. And the issue you still got even with that is, if you still got a core of players who are not good enough in Arsenal fans' eyes, but then they're still good squad players, well, then how are we going to move forward? Arsenal were the only club that I know in recent years that we reward players with contracts because they've had a good 6 games. To me, it's crackers. But yeah, mate, guys, big up to you guys in the chat. We are done, man. I'm going to get Ross's score prediction for Thursday, and then we are out of here, man, because you know what? We want to enjoy the rest of our Easter Sunday. And that's not easy. And that's not easy after the debacle we saw yesterday. But people in the chat, big up to you guys in the chat. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Ross's channel, and hit the notification bell. Actually, don't hit it. Smash the notification bell for when the content comes out. But yeah, Ross, what's your score prediction for Thursday, mate?
We home or away Thursday?
We're home, mate. We're home.
Let's be positive and go 2-1 Arsenal. But I'm not really sure how confident I am at that, if I'm honest with you. Yeah.
Megan, you're taking it. I know, man. Anthony, Megan, you're too kind. I said it myself, so I agree with you. But guys, I'm sorry I didn't get to read out all your comments because they were flying through, man. Big up to everyone in the chat, man. Megan, Yo-Yo, Normski, RJ Wills, George, who's else in the chat? Archangel, Russ Morgan, my bro, man. Bare people in the chat, man. I can't even keep up. So apologies if I didn't give you a call out. You know what? My memory's not as good as it used to be. But big up Gooner TV. Where can I find you, my friend?
YouTube, Gooner TV. Same on Instagram, Twitter. Just hit that and you'll see my pages there. Yeah, thanks for having me on again, mate. Appreciate it. It's been the first one back in a while. So yeah, thanks a lot, mate. Just
Yeah, guys.
happier return, really.
Well, there's always something to talk about with Arsenal, and I always say that, man. But big up my bro Ross for coming on. Big up to the guys in the chat, like I said. That is me, your host, Albert JTV, of course. Yours truly. Twitter handle at AUMO57. Come and subscribe to the channel, my people. That is me over and out. Hashtag Arsenal 0, Liverpool 3. We move to Thursday against Slavia Prague.